Hello, and welcome to the Hidden Archives. I'm your host for the evening, Nicole Clark. Thank you for joining us for our annual holiday episode. Even though we are celebrating the holidays, I assure you this tale is still disturbing. But of course, we will return to our regular style of thrills next time. I want to give you a heads up, though, that the next story may be delayed as we observe the holidays by celebrating with our friends and family. We encourage you to do the same, whatever holiday you observe. Please remember to be kind to one another, have an open mind, and an open heart. As for the business side of things, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Hidden Archives Podcast and on Twitter at Podcast Hidden for any updates and delays, a view behind the scenes, and whatever completely unrelated stuff we feel like sharing. It wouldn't be Christmas if we didn't allude to Charles Dickens, let alone directly quote him. His words of wisdom today are, "An idea, like a ghost, must be spoken to a little before it will explain itself." Let me explain the idea we wish you to understand. If you choose to enter the hidden archives, if you choose to study the tomes, if you choose to take this journey with me, you do so at your own risk. Profanity and disturbing content will follow. This is your warning. If you have ever taken a shortcut to achieve a major goal in life, then you have something in common with our character this evening. You may even know the moral of the story, that this can often get you more than what you bargained for. But don't worry too much, because good fortune may still favor you, even if the cost of your good fortune is great. But remember how you got there, remember those who helped you along the way, and remember the wisdom given by the ghosts of Christmas.
Mission log, December 19th, year unknown. Ship, USS cargo ship, the Dickens. Look, I'll be honest. I don't know the year because this damn computer will only tell me the month, date, and day. It's Wednesday if that matters. Should be able to narrow it down from there, whoever you are. Whoever reads these logs. I mean, assuming someone does. And hell, assuming someone does, let me offer one piece of criticism. The AI on the ship obviously has its limits. It brought me out of the cottage too early. I think. I'm not really sure. Well, shit. Since I don't know who reads these things, I feel like I should probably explain a thing or two. First, the cottage is the colloquial term for digital stasis. Not really sure why we call it that, if I'm telling the truth. It's not like anyone in the cottage feels like they are actually in one, or sees or experiences anything. It's just your digitized pattern being stored on a hard drive until you're rematerialized for service. But I will say this. It's a far cry better than the cryogenesis pods of old. I mean, with obvious exceptions. But no memory loss, no atrophy, no freezer burn at all? Just suddenly back and ready for service? Yeah, that's hard to criticize. Plus, it's nice to think that maybe we were in a winter cottage, just awaiting the onset of the spring of our return. Maybe that's why they call it the cottage. Seems wholesome. Anyway, I've gotten a little off topic. The reason for this log is that I was the only one reactivated. I'm little more than a cargo specialist, a delivery guy or mover at best. I wasn't supposed to be activated until we reached the colony. I know very little about the ship's systems, flight, navigation, communications, or maintenance. I think someone more useful should have been activated, or at least activated with me. I've only been active for a few days, but no one else has showed up. Is there something I'm supposed to do? I suppose my basic training allows me to be able to fly the ship, sort of. But the AI is handling most of that. Otherwise, I see no reason for my activation, unless there's an order I need to obey or whatever. If someone's getting these transmissions and could get back to me, I'd really appreciate it. Well, I guess that's all for now. Assuming our communications are also faster than light, I guess I should probably wish you happy holidays. So yeah, Merry Christmas, and please get back to me as soon as you can. End log. Mission log, December 20th, year, unknown. Ship, USS cargo ship, the Dickens. So since my last log entry, the computer has started waking up a little bit more. The AI is still running in the background, but obeying my directives for the most part. I mean, before, I couldn't access much more than lights and environmentals. I'll admit, I did have a little fun with that. Seeing as it's almost Christmas, I decided to decorate. You see, there were red warning lights on almost every panel along the ship's corridors. A bunch of systems were down or inactive. Well, I decided to fix a few. Just the simple ones like a burned out relay or transistor here or there. When the system was fixed, all non-essential by the way, the status light turns green. So I fixed every other system along the corridors. Just alternating red and green. Christmas lights. I burned through most of the reserve electrical components, but at least I didn't have to climb a roof to get festive. On the note of repairs, though, like I said, I think most of the essential systems are active. I have artificial gravity, air, heat, and light. Comms still aren't working, though. I did try that system first. That's actually how I got the idea for Christmas lights. But I digress again. Look, whoever you are, you'll have to bear with me. I'm not used to making these log entries. That's probably the captain's job, but since she isn't here, I felt I needed to inform someone of the situation. I think that's protocol, that whenever there are active crew, mission logs are kept. But if I was a professional at protocol, I wouldn't be a glorified package delivery guy. I would have made it all the way through training. Passing the physical was easy, but the other stuff? I just didn't have the knack for it. Oh well, at least I got a post on a starship. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. I was going to say that the main computer interface is offline. Is there something I have to do to boot it up? It should always be running though, right? It would just be nice to get some sort of status update, find out where on course we are, or bare minimum, get some Christmas music playing. I'll keep fiddling with things and see what I can come up with. But if someone's reading these log entries, I'd appreciate it if you can get back to me with some assistance, or let me know how to activate someone who can. If that seems disrespectful or insubordinate, I'm just going a little stir-crazy out here. Being so alone so far from Earth is giving me a little bit of cabin fever. Ironic when you consider that I got here from the cottage. Traded the old cottage for a cabin. A cabin in this ship. A cabin in the woods. The woods of interstellar space. Crazy to think about, right? I'm out here, and you're back there, separated by how many hundreds of light years? I could tell you if the damn computer was working. Ha, sorry about that. It's just that when you're alone, certain realizations hit differently. I mean, I'm just a speck out here, and you're just a speck out there. We're like two snowflakes in a blizzard. But you're a snowflake in a blizzard at one time at one place, and I'm a snowflake in a blizzard across the country at a different time. But we can still communicate. Crazy, right? I mean, We can still communicate, right? You are getting all of this? Look, I just want to turn the computer on, or wake someone else up. Help me out with this, and I'll owe you one. Until then, I'm going to look for an emergency operations packet. End log. Mission log. December 21st. Year, unknown. Ship, USS cargo ship, the Dickens. So, I found that operations packet. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't what I got. It's just a book, like 800 pages long. It's divided into sections, the first one titled PCDSSPPM. I skimmed through that one. Just seemed like a bunch of euphemisms. Honestly, it was like reading a space-themed fortune cookie. The rest of the packet, manual, whatever, was kind of helpful though. I found a section on computer operations that helped me out a bit. The computer interface is functional, minimally. If nothing else, I got my Christmas classics playing. You know, Bing Crosby and the likes. But the computer seems to be running at minimal capacity. It's all super slow and shit. Voice control doesn't really work. I keep having to use the pad interface to control the lights and music. On that note, I put up more Christmas lights. I also created a holo simulation of reindeer that gallop through the ship corridors every hour or so. Maybe I'll make a snowfall simulation. Oh, or a fireplace simulation. I can have it projected on the bridge. Better yet, I'll do a traditional Yule log simulation, an interactive one that I have to keep burning throughout the night. Yeah, I think this holiday is going to be all right. Just wish I had someone to share it with. Just one person to share the Yule log duties with. Again, if you can help me out with that, I'd really appreciate it. So, yeah, I guess my plan is to get navigation back online tomorrow. I'll also see what I can do to get some sort of status report. End log. Mission log. December 22nd. Year, unknown. Ship, USS cargo ship, the Dickens. Well, I found out why the computer is being such shit. Apparently the ship got hit by some sort of electromagnetic disturbance. I'm not really sure what it was, but there were no records of anything similar in the database. Oh, yeah, I can access the computer database now. That's about how far I got with it. It's a little faster, too. I just rerouted the processing power through life support. There was a section in the emergency packet about how to do that. Some plug-and-play equations and code. It's gotten cold in here, but at least I have information. On a side note, I also have snow. No simulation needed. You know the life bay? Basically, it's like a giant greenhouse full of plants and shit for the colonies. Well, I guess the life bay is 100% non-essential, though it can't be shut down. So what happened was the humidifiers kept running, but the heat was completely shut off. This means that the humidifiers are spitting out, well, snow. I'll be honest again. I did go in there and make a snowman. Made him in the carnivorous plants section. Kind of epic if I don't say so myself. He is a mean-looking motherfucker surrounded by Venus flytraps and shit. I did find a carrot for the nose. It was gonna freeze anyway. But I didn't have any coal for the eyes and mouth. So I found a rose bush, took 2 flowers for the eyes, and made a twisted frown out of the thorny stalk. Looks like teeth. But, back to the computer issue. Turns out that almost every electrical system on the ship was fried, except for the analog systems like life support and propulsion. So I can survive to fly the ship if I end up having to take over. If only I knew more about how to do this. But I have the computer working on that one for me. It is faster, but still not fast enough. I'll update tomorrow with any progress. Until then, I guess. End log. Mission log, December 23rd. Year, unknown. Ship, USS cargo ship, the Dickens. I got some more information about my situation. It's not good news. First, navigation came back online. Turns out I'm way the hell off course. I thought the propulsion systems were virtually invulnerable. Well, virtually they are. Every simulation thrown at them, every deep space anomaly until now has seen them unscathed. But when we were hit by that electromagnetic thing, that all changed. The port thrusters were shielded from the event, so they suffered little damage, just because of where they were. But the starboard side took a massive hit. When the ship finally stabilized, we ended up several light years off course and uncharted space. Fortunately, the ship's guidance systems have found their way back, but we missed the deadline. We missed it by a lot. If the colony has managed to survive, they'll still need the medicine and other supplies we were tasked to bring. Now more than ever. So that's another thing. Our mission. Normally, exo-Earth colonies are independent. They only get supply runs when shit's really hit the fan. Well, at our destination colony, it did. I don't know what happened exactly, but most of the strong-bodied adults started dying off. We were, essentially, sent to save the children. To bring them medicine to prevent the same infection, doctors to administer it, builders to restore the colony, and teachers and caretakers to raise the children. They're more or less alone out there, and the Dickens is the only ship that can make it that far. Well, it might be able to. Here's what else I found out. It took a long time for automated repair systems to get the propulsion systems back online. A long time. That's why I don't know what year it is. The computer only has the mission timeframe set. This was supposed to be, at most, a 3-year mission. After that, the time is calibrated by the computer. Well, with no computer, there is no calibration. All I can say is that we've been adrift for more than 3 years. What am I flying into? What will I find? End log. Mission log, December 24th. Year, unknown. Ship, USS cargo ship, the Dickens. Merry almost Christmas. I know why no one is responding to me with these logs. It's because they aren't being sent. The communications array has been completely destroyed. And do you know what happens when a communication can't be sent? It's archived. But how is something archived when the main computer system is compromised? Well, that's a very good question. As it turns out, there's always a workaround. We've already seen how this works. Main computer pathways are damaged? No problem. Use a fucking life support to make it work. Clever, right? Well, I guess our dear computer engineers were one-trick ponies when it came to finding workarounds. You know what they did? How these logs are being archived when there is no available memory in the main computer? These logs and any other data are being written to the fucking crew stasis drives. That's why no one else has been activated. They're almost all corrupted. Every time the computer needs to process a command, it uses a crew drive to do it. Every time the sensors pick up something new, it uses a crew drive. Every time I ask the computer to play a Christmas song, it plays from the digital coffin of one of my crewmates. And every fucking time I make a log entry, another of my crew is written over. I've been killing my crew off one by one with every entry I make. But luckily for the mission, one crew stasis drive is protected. Every day at random until one crew member is activated. A protection algorithm selects a stasis drive so that overwrites can't take place there. So that at least one uncorrupted person can rise from the digital grave and work like the good little fucking elf they are. And when they are activated, it's fair game. All drives are able to be written on, including mine. And they have all been written over, including mine. This means that not only are all hands lost, but I can't return to stasis when the mission is complete. It was probably all intentional. I doubt the random protection algorithm is actually random. I mean, the mission is to deliver goods. Sure, the teachers and builders and such have been written over too, but the physical cargo is fine. And who better to deliver a package than a delivery guy? And since by my calculations I arrive at the colony tomorrow, this also makes this particular delivery guy the goddamn jolly elf himself. It makes me fucking Santa Claus. How poetic that I should be delivering this shit to children on Christmas Day. I called the computer engineers one-trick ponies because it seems like their solution for fixing processing issues is to compromise life support. Whether that means turning down the heat to make the computer faster, or freeing up storage space by overwriting the crew. Either way, life or the quality thereof is sacrificed so that the beeps and boops of the computer can continue to beep and boop. This makes me wonder if I really am so different from Santa. Think about it. Santa has his elves make toys year-round, ruining their lives, so that his mission can still be accomplished by delivering all these things. Then he gets all the glory. No kid writes a letter to the elves thanking them for all their hard work. Santa just rides around in a sleigh, eating the cookies, drinking the milk, and getting fatter and fatter from all the fucking fame. And here I am, flying my own sleigh. And I will make the delivery. And the children will rejoice, and I'll be remembered as the hero who survived to deliver salvation on Christmas Day. But who will remember my crew? Who will thank them? I'll get letters and thank you cards for years to come. I'll be put on other missions. But my crew? Their hard drives will be overwritten to oblivion. Then, when they can no longer serve a starship, they will serve as the memory units for actual, literal toys. See, when a starship is decommissioned, they landed on a colony planet, and it's torn apart. Just remember that. Remember everyone that had a role in the mission. Remember those who sacrificed so that you can have the quality of life you do. Remember the pain that went into your joy. Remember the sweat, blood, and tears that went into your laughter. Remember the ghosts of Christmas past. End log.
Seems like there were a lot of technical issues with this character's situation. Now, I'm no tech expert, but I wonder if things would have turned out differently if he just tried turning everything off and on. Thank you for letting us be a part of your holidays. Be safe in celebrating whatever traditions you hold dear. We will try to release as close to on schedule as possible, but things might be delayed. Follow us on social media to stay in the loop. There are many more stories from the hidden archives that have yet to be shared. We hope that you join us next time for another glimpse within. This has been a production of the Rhodes Collaborative Experience LLC. Please no reproduction, duplication, or bastardization of any content without written consent from RCX or its partners. Ex animo, ex tempus, in archivum.